film to this area if you're from Cumbria or Yorkshire, and it's all about getting outside and I think talking about some of the struggles that can be a barrier to that. So I'm going to bring on the man formerly known as Charlie, and we're going to meet the real Sir. Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Nervous.
Nervous. Jolly good. I'm sure I help with that. Where are you signing in from?
I'm in Leeds, yeah. Back
Okay.
at home, yeah. In God's own country.
God's own country. Okay, because I can see you're pretty passionate about where you're from.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got this little map of the ridings up behind me.
Nice. For those of us that don't know, what are the ridings?
The ridings were the former areas of Yorkshire before the Metropolitan Councils got involved.
And what does that mean?
That means why we still celebrate Yorkshire Day 30 years after. Is it 40 years? No, was it 50 years? 50 years after they broke them up. Yeah.
Yorkshire Day.
Yeah.
Wow. When's that?
August the 1st. Yeah.
August the 1st.
It's a religion.
Okay. So next year will be the Queen's Jubilee or wherever we're at with it, and Yorkshire Day.
Well, Yorkshire Day's every year.
Yorkshire Day's every year.
Yeah.
Begging your pardon.
Yeah, you've got to go do the Yorkshire Three Peaks twice. That's what it involves.
Wow, how long does that take?
Longer than I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm not going to. I won't be doing Yorkshire Three Peaks twice. I've done it enough times now, anyway.
Just again, for people that don't know, what are the Yorkshire Three Peaks?
3 peaks in Yorkshire. Yeah, it's a 23-mile walk around Ingleborough, Whernside, and Pen-y-Ghent. Often.
Have you got any more facts for us about Yorkshire?
Hey?
Have you got any more facts for us about Yorkshire?
Yeah, it's quite good.
It's quite good.
Don't mess with Yorkshire women, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I have heard that.
Yeah.
Have you thought about going on Mastermind as
no
Yorkshire specialist?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm not sure I'm cut out for this for an interview on the Mountain Film Festival, let alone Mastermind.
Should we talk about the film?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
What's it about?
It's actually about it's about my journey through being diagnosed with PTSD and depression back in the year 2000, and then I picked up. I'm just sorry.
Chat, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just seeing messages pop up. Yes.
Emma Holland from Mountain Training says Yorkshire tea bags are the best. That's another fact about Yorkshire. I think they become thick and fast now. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll try not to look at these. Right. It's basically it's the journey I took from. I got diagnosed with PTSD and depression back in 2000 after an incident. Sort of muddled my way through mental health, had counselling, and then I went on and just by accident really found the outdoors, and without sort of telling anybody of my history, did a couple of courses, found out that I absolutely loved it, and without underselling any of the courses or anything, I found it quite easy, and I think it was because of the experiences that where I've been. And then I've gone on to get quite a number of the mountain training awards and become a mountain instructor myself.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this happy accident that led you into the outdoor?
The happy accident was, I was working in, basically, when I'd been diagnosed with the PTSD, doors as a bouncer, ejection technician we call it, and basically because I couldn't get a job, couldn't work anywhere because I had mental health on my sort of CV, or where people had asked where you'd been for that last year. Well, I couldn't work because and no one had given me a job. So I ended up working on the doors. They didn't ask me for a CV, and I knew some good lads that were working on the doors. So anyway, I ended up working nightclubs and things. And then after about 7 years, basically it got to the stage where I was working 6 nights a week on nightclubs to earn money. But then because of working on the club, I'd be going home. I'd be taking at least 4 cans of beer every night. And it was just like, it was getting into this circle. It was just a vicious circle of working, having a drink, and it was like, my weight went up, my fitness went down. And anyway, just by accident, I finished working at one of the clubs, and I thought, I need to get fit. I had done some Thai boxing years before that, but broke my knee off, so I thought that's not an option. And I went back to some skills that I'd learned back in 2000, actually, while I was on the sick. I joined an expedition, been to Belize and things with an outdoor expedition company. done some training with them, and just started going out walking by myself.
Wow.
Just up in the Dales, yeah. Just
Sound like home.
Well, I mean, even now, it's sort of this with the lockdown. It's sort of embarrassing how much it is on the doorstep that we don't look at. I've found a lot of new stuff within West Yorkshire through the lockdown because we weren't allowed to go anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, it started off going Yorkshire Dales, Peak Districts, then we're going to Snowditch and just doing all these little adventures by myself. And then things got out of hand.
Tell me about how they got out of hand.
Well, actually, I saw an advert in one of the magazines. It was in Trail magazine, I believe, and it was coincidentally from Rob Johnson of Expedition Guide. Now he's got the company Filmmaker, who've made the film, and he had an expedition going to Norway. But to go to Norway on this winter expedition snowshoeing, you've had to have met him and gone through another course. And I joined him in North Wales. I think it was 2010. Joined him in North Wales. Did 3 days navigation, mountain navigation, 2 days scrambling. Found that I loved it, and it gave me some more skills that I could expand my horizons. You know, I was walking around with a map and compass in the Dales, but I wasn't that proficient. And then next thing, I'm navigating by landforms and not using my compass and things. And from there, I joined another course, and then through the wonder of Facebook back in them days, people would ask where I've been, what where these photographs have been taken. So people started coming out with me. So I started taking people out, and I felt a bit of a responsibility. So I went on a first aid course, and I asked Rob, says, where do you think I should go? And he introduced me to Helen and Steve Howe of Snowdonia First Aid, and it was Helen actually. She basically said, you know, if you're doing all these walks, you might have enough time. You might have enough. Turn that off. I might have enough experience to join the Mountain Leader training scheme. So I joined the Mountain Leader training scheme just to get, being a good Yorkshireman, just to get 6 days of training for a cheap price. It was like £350 for 6 days of training. And I was like, right, I'll do that. But I had no intention of going on to the Mountain Leader or anything like that. I was still working on bars and things. In fact, I was going nowhere. I didn't know where I was going. I did the Mountain Leader training in the October of 2011. Winter 2011 to 2012, I did my 20 days consolidation. So up in the Lake District with a frozen tent on 3-4 day expeditions. Oh, amazing. Back in the days when I was passionate, and that I'm thinking now, you know, I was 40-year-old then, I was still doing it. And when I see kids doing it now, you're like, oh yeah, good on you. And I'm thinking, how did I do it? And I ended up doing my training, did my assessment in the April of 2012, passed my assessment, and then it sort of just steamrolled. Yeah, so I've ended up going on doing I did my international, I'm a winter mountain leader sort of side by side. I did my rock climbing instructor, my foundation coach. What else have I done? Climbing.
Going through these, like you just pick them up, but I know from being in the industry that they're really quite bloody hard to get, those tickets.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to apply yourself, I think. But I think it's like when I did my IML, I went in for my IML International Mountain Leader. Yeah, I mean the Winter Mountain Leader was the one that I wanted, the big one. That was when I first admitted to everybody about having mental health, having gone through mental health issues, because it was an ambition I'd set myself. And when I got that, it was quite. Because if you ask instructors that have all been through most of the awards, and they'll say Winter ML is like the hardest one to get, because you've just got to tough it out for 5 days. In 40-mile-an-hour crosswinds on the Cairngorm Plateau, trying to navigate off a map, it's quite tough. But if you can get yourself into that mindset and tough it out and do it, then yeah, it's the one that I wanted to achieve, and I got quite emotional when I actually got that. And I said a big thank you to all my instructors and people that had sort of inspired me to keep going. And I did this big sort of Facebook rant. Well, not rant. It was. I still remember writing it, and I wrote it, and it was quite long. But at the end of it, what I wrote was, "But this is not about me and my achievement. It's about you, because you can achieve it." Because I was the guy that couldn't get a job because of mental health problems. mental health issues, what I'd been through, you know, flashbacks and all this lot, and being on medication and drinking an awful lot. I couldn't get a job. I was a doorman. I was a bouncer, you know, which is like, you know, a lot of people see it as a lowly job. But then I achieved that, and it was like that, a big step for me. Now the IML, when I got the IML, Simon Hale, who gave me it, he actually actually sat down and he says, and I always remember, he says, "You're not like most people we get on these courses." I know, what do you mean? And he went, "Well, we've got people here that are, you know, head of engineering in London universities. We've got a guy that's got an MBE." He says, "You're a bouncer from Leeds." I went, "Yeah, no." I says, "What does that mean?" He went, "Well, you just, all week people have been having breakdowns. This is a big thing, you know, going through this award. But you just don't seem to react under pressure." "Yeah, but no one's trying to hit me with bottles or throwing things at my head. You know, I'm not stood on a door." And he went, "Oh yeah, fair enough. Have I passed?" "Yeah, you've passed." "Oh, thank you." So it has been a bit of a journey, a bit of a difference, but I think, you know, yeah, a bit of an experience really.
Mark, can you tell me where that resilience comes from that you had on the door and then on the mountain?
Resilience, I think actually going through the mental health thing. I think I've got an outlook, I've got a view, wrongly or rightly, because I'm only an expert on my own mental health. Yeah, which is when people keep asking me, people do ask me stuff about now, and I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend my pathway through it. 7 years of drinking before. I mean, I enjoyed some of the times. I enjoyed a lot of the times, but I don't remember a lot of the times as well. But 7 years of hard drinking before going on to finding my mountain stuff. It's just finding a way, and I always thought I would find a way through. There were some very dark times in that 7 years, but I had two small children. Katie and Ella, my daughters, were only 2 and 4 when the incident happened, because it was actually a traumatic incident that happened where somebody lost their life. And I think, I wouldn't like to say where I'd be if it hadn't been for them, because apparently I did 6 months of counselling, but when I finished the counselling, so this were the early doors, this was in 2000, my doctor had sent me for the counselling because I was having sleeping problems. And when I finished the counselling, I turned around to Alice and my counsellor and thanked her for her help. And she turned around and she went, "When you came in this room the first time, we gave you 30 out of 30 for post-traumatic stress and 29 out of 30 for depression. We didn't think we'd see you a month later. We thought you'd be dead." And it was like, "All right." She said, "You've done well." I went, well, yeah, I have, but, you know, there were 2 people there that I had to get through for.
So would it be fair to say that alongside resilience, one of the qualities that you need for both surviving PTSD and depression and being a mountain leader is compassion and caring for the people?
Yeah, I think I can look inwards at myself and laugh at things that I've done, you know, and I see people, because now I work for a couple of providers where I course direct the mountain leading training scheme, and so I've gone full circle. So I've gone all the way around, and I'm now delivering the training and the awards. And when I see people coming to the training and making some silly, simple, stupid, silly mistakes, and you're like, "Yeah, I've done all that. I've done all that." Yeah. I think the resilience through the mental health is like, I think if I try, I can probably achieve quite a lot. Right. Is it? It's not my Chrome, is it? Because I can
No,
see.
I don't think so. But that's my mum, Jane Carter.
Okay.
Hi, mum.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Jane.
But if she says there's no audio, then she's probably right.
Okay.
So what I'll do is say, sorry, everyone. Can you do Thursday night?
Is it like a date? Is it what? A girl asking me?
Yeah.
A girl asking me on Thursday night? Yeah, I can do. Seeing as it's
Okay,
you.
right.
Seeing as it's you.
We are gonna do this again with Mark on Thursday night. Tune back in then. All right. Do you want to wave? Should we do a big wave? Got to do a bigger wave than that. Come on.
Aggles.
All right. I'm going to turn you off.
Okay.
Thanks very